Well, from fine boys to allegations that women are going to kill men with something or other, no, I don't think the woman that we have to round up our Asaase Breakfast show this morning has anything like that on her mind. She is a woman who is just on a mission, she says, to transform the story and the perception around vocational and career skills education. And she's also a bit of a visionary, and let's say that she's a woman with guts. Some people know her as Nana Afua Serwaa Adusei, and in fact we've greeted her in the Asaase Breakfast show with that name here in the past, but she is far better known as Shecanic, and we say welcome to the studio, Shecanic.
Thank you, Nana. I'm so excited to be here. I have no idea.
Well, we're always excited to see you in the studio. I wanted to know, do you have any objection to being known generally as Shecanic? Because it's just such a great... Yeah, you know, it's an international movement, Shecanic, isn't it?
It is.
Which is sort of about women and motors, cars, bikes, everything motorable, anything vehicle-wise. And we're excited about it because we're here to welcome you as the new host of... What are you going to be the new host of?
Vroom.
Yes.
Shecanic. Yes, I'm so excited about that. But Nana, before we go on, so
Yes.
Shecanic is not just about the auto, like Shecanic, as in female mechanic, no, but she can do anything she sets her mind to do.
Right.
So this is for all the other young ladies out there. Like, you can do it. You don't need to let anything stop you, anything at all.
Now, this is a woman who says no to nothing. She has gone from a degree in an unlikely subject to working in the car industry behind the scenes initially with auto dueling, and you came in here to the Asaase Breakfast show a little over a year ago to tell us that story. You come from, let's say, a rather posh family. You have some royal connections, but you have known the top end and you've known the down end of life. You told us about how you moved from not so far from here, La Bonnie, ended up at one point in a house in Tandra Hills. You've had a very itinerant childhood because of parents who were on the road traveling, a mother who is largely abroad, and even some hits and misses with getting into tertiary education, but you got there in the end. You got a degree and then did nothing that was connected with your degree. You ended up with cars, starting out in the back room and then taking an interest in engines. So you'll be presenting Vroom, which is our show on Monday evening, 6:30.
Yes.
Everything auto and more. Why for you was it not a scary business as a woman leaping into the world of automobiles, and what do you think that's going to help you bring to Vroom?
So as you rightly mentioned, I come with a whole lot of experiences from being the everyday car user and experience that I've gained through my many years of customer service and fixing cars to now this. But more importantly, with the affirmative action that has just been passed and assented, I would say well done to Asaase Radio for giving a woman the chance. I don't think there's any woman who is hosting a car auto show on radio or even TV in Ghana. So with
really?
Vroom, this is the first, and it's such a bold step for Asaase to want to hand it over to a woman. I mean, who else is
But
qualified?
why should it be bold? Because you have paid your dues. You clearly know a motor inside and out. And that's why I wanted to ask you, like the business of getting down to working, because you're in the back office first of all at Auto Dueling, and then when you started hanging out in the yard and sort of looking over mechanics' shoulders or whatever, did you get a little bit of resistance from the boys?
Absolutely. I mean, naturally, people would doubt you. Naturally, because you're a woman. We don't find women in this space. So it's up to you to make sure that you change that doubt to competency. So not to just say, oh, because you're a woman, give me the chance, but you should be competent. So absolutely, we've gone through that, and I would say I'm still going through that on a daily, but it's up to Shecanic because I'm inspiring other young women. I need to put up a face. I need to be bold. I need to represent what I say, that I can do it, so can you. So yes, we go through that every day on the daily, but with competency, we're able to skate through.
Your unusually endowed because you bring together so many things. As I said, you've seen all ends of life. You have a bit of an arts head, but you also have clearly you're not fazed by the things that are questions of physics in real life, stripping down motors, getting them to work again. You've also been very sporty, but you are unusually beautiful. I'm sure you get a lot of people saying that to you. You are unusually beautiful, and you've even won a Miss Photogenic contest when you're at Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology.
How did you know?
Oh, I've been doing a little bit of, we like to know,
good.
I guess.
That was good.
And everybody seeing you would understand why. Do you think actually your looks have been another reason why you get that kind of pushback, as in assuming, what does she know about motors?
Actually, it's rather in the positive way. So my looks has been, okay, so let's give her a chance. It feeds the curiosity of my customer base. So let's see what this lady can do. Of course, we're trying to move from the mechanic being oily, not speaking well, looking so bad. We're changing that narrative. So it's up to me to look good. I should look good, because now to be a mechanic, you have to look good. You should be presentable. Just like Nana, you should be presentable so that when you speak, people would actually buy into whatever it is that you're selling.
Right.
So that is it for the looks. Not a bad way, but yeah.
So this is not a mechanic who's going to grunt at you, take your money and say, come back tomorrow, and then you go back tomorrow, it's like, come back next week. No, this is an articulate, communicative woman who knows her way around motors. But I was asking again, what do you think in particular you want to do with Vroom? It's a relatively young show here on our Asaase schedules, with only one previous host, and as I said, an unprecedented thing to have a woman hosting it. What particular sorts of approaches do you want to bring to how we look at cars? Is it going to be all about the decoration, furry dice, and then, okay, so this is what you do with your motor?
Just like a lot of people, we are all tired of the everyday specs and models discussing cars. This is what I'm going to bring to the show. Growing up, I watched sports highlights. Kwabena Yeboah would do a lot of research. His commentary would bring you into the stadium or into the boxing ring. You feel as if you haven't missed anything. So that's value that Kwabena Yeboah brought to the show that has made him a public figure. And Doreen Andor, I still would hear her in my ears. She is bringing that soothing music and conversation. So she comes in with the care and compassion. So combining the research skills I've learned from Kwabena Yeboah, research and thought-provoking questions, and asking the hard questions, and why are we doing it this way? Versus the caring and passionate side of, let me be the one you listen to every Monday about your car. So if you want to buy a vehicle, you can just listen to Shecanic and her hosts, her panel, and know what to buy, what not to do. So it's the combination of these two personalities that we're bringing together.
She's bringing everything to the show, people. She's bringing everything to the show. Now, some people would say, well, you're broadcasting, or you will be broadcasting it into the right culture. Fred Ghanaians are generally obsessed with cars. We won't say about boys and their toys or whatever. Do you find that there's generally a lot of knowledge, though, about cars, how to maintain them, what the best buys are? Are you finding that there are more and more people who are really savvy about the auto business?
Yes, there is a lot of knowledge, but is it the right knowledge? Right. How are we handing over the information? You get people who are learning how to drive their cars from a driving school, who the instructor doesn't even own a car. So after he's done with teaching you how to drive, he hops into the trotro and he goes home. So it's about the quality of knowledge and information. That is why we need programs like Vroom, that with the host and the panel would research and bring you authentic. I think it's just a tradition of what Asaase Radio has been doing, bringing you authentic news, relevant discussion. It's going to follow through like that. We should be the go-to auto magazine. We should be the go-to auto show for all your information. So yeah, that is it. So the knowledge is out there, but we need to tweak it a little bit. We need to fix it a little bit. make it the right knowledge so that we can pass it on to the generation next. Once upon a time, radio was the place you'd learn. Once upon a time, I'm not sure if it's like that still, but I'm trusting Asaase Radio and all the wonderful programs they have, including Vroom, to bring that back. We need to bring that back. Radio should be the go-to place to learn everything. Information
that's going to be useful to you.
Exactly.
And it's a good precedent that you'll be picking up because, of course, Vroom has cultivated its own audience, largely of motorheads. Now, when you say motorheads, is that you immediately think of a boy, very greasy, possibly into very loud music, not talking very much. And you are not that in any way. You're the polar opposite of all those things. So what kinds of information are you going to be looking to bring to viewers? Is it all about the particular car for the particular setting? Is it about best buys?
You know, I would say we will not leave the motorheads out. Listen, so motorheads, we're going to talk about your torques and the horsepower. But it's about how we make the examples relatable. Like if you tell someone what torque is, give some relatable examples. Horsepower, give some relatable.
Torque.
Yes.
Yeah. I was hearing TALK for a moment. I finally figured out what you're talking. TORQUE. Torque. I know nothing about. And horsepower. I heard hotspurs.
Listeners, we need to bring the Naya in. So this is why we need to expand the nets to bring the ladies in as well, to make it relatable. Your spare tire. How do you know how to change your spare tire? Reasons you shouldn't panic if you have a flat tire. Don't step on the brakes. How to know where your tires are so you don't run into the pothole. So we'll make it relatable. Let's talk about public transports. The trotros, what is going on? Now they have some form of entertainment and trotros. Like who is regulating that? Who brought that up? The inscriptions we see behind trotro, how did that originate? So we should have relatable discussions in the simplest of languages to use, so that everybody feels a part of it. But most importantly, we want to make sure it is something for women, to promote STEM, to promote women in the auto industry. We should be able to bring in the Academy of Women who are championing the automobile space, women in the spare parts business, women in the aftermarkets, women in the refinishing system. So it's not just going to be about models who has the fastest cars. Guys will do that, don't get me wrong, but we need to expand a bit. That's what's going to happen.
So science, technology, engineering and maths for all, for girls, boys, women, men, and what is actually happening in the world of cars. Now, another thing, of course, that you're very noted for is for being the only female member of the Wanderlust Ghana team. That made that amazing 30,000 kilometer journey from Accra to London. You didn't go all the way to the south of England, but you accompanied them like essentially up to North Africa, right? Until the hop-off point where they were really getting on a ferry. They weren't like, kind of flying with their cars over the sea. Yes, absolutely. So the hard bit of the journey, the African journey, was the bit that you accompanied them on. There's been a lot of talk lately, for example, for an extension of Formula One into Ghana. We've had people here in the Asaase studio talking about, why don't we have our own version of, the Dakar rally. We don't do Paris-Dakar, whatever, but extend Paris-Dakar to Paris-Dakar-Accra, that sort of thing. For you, is motor and the business of motoring not just about the use of cars in everyday life? Is it also about the sport end of things, or are you going to really confine yourself to talking about how we experience vehicles on the day-to-day?
No, it's going to include the motorsport. So recently, Yuki was brought on. What they say, Lawson was demoted. So Yuki, so that's with the Red Bull. So there's been the least thing, and there's like a whole conversation about it. So I do agree. Being a part of the Formula One community in Ghana myself, we will rope them in. And yes, and I do agree with them that we should have a rally. I mean, we have the beautiful roads, we have the scenery. We should be able to have a rally here. So the question really is, our policymakers, are they ready for it? I'll give you an example. When we talk about year of return, are we ready for it? Our roads, do we have rest stops Do we have, there's a lot of things that go into it, but we've come to realize a lot of these agencies work in isolation. So if we're going to be asking Red Bull to bring their team here, or Ferrari, or bring, are we ready for it? So that is a bigger conversation.
Have we got the infrastructure?
Have we got exactly? It's one thing mentioning it. I mean, we could tickle ourselves and laugh and be excited, but are we ready for it? Formula One is a big deal, and yes, I'm excited that we're going to have a merger. We're going to mix it up. I mean, there are times we'd go and join them in the party. It's always so great, so fun. And there are times we'll be in the studio. So yeah.
And this is a woman she's going to be all guns blazing. She's going to be out there. She's going to be in the studio. And she will want to hear from you listeners, of course, about your own road user experience. Just as a quickie, as a parting shot, what's your favourite motor for getting around in town at the moment?
Oh, I would go for peace of mind anytime. So I have come to love the A5, the Audi. Yes, it's a good combination of stability and work of art. The Audi brings that. It's a masterpiece. It's a work of art. You sit in and you feel so hugged. The cockpit is just you. At the same time, you're in control of everything that's going on. Not too many complicated electronics that would just get you crazy, but it will get you to keep your eyes on the road. It's user friendly. It is safe for our roads. It's able to detect motorists that just cross you, and the A5 is just special. I mean, there's something about it.
You are hearing a flavour of the joy of the kind of information that you are going to be getting every Monday from this coming Monday. That's when you're starting, is it?
Yes, we're starting.
So just starting up in 3 days' time from now, the 7th of April. 6:30 p.m. Be there or be square. Shecanic is our new host of Vroom, and we're really looking forward to seeing you again.
I am excited. Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us on the Asaase Breakfast Show. And what better way to end our Friday? Yes, hitting the road, but don't hit the road so fast that you stop listening to Asaase Breakfast Show, to Asaase Radio programs here on 99.5 in Accra, or 98.5 in Kumasi, or 99.7 in Tamale, 100.3 in Cape Coast. Coming up in a little while, we'll be having Asaase Cafe here. YAD will be bringing you the vibe if you're in Tamale. Naklodi Fritz Alaban will be bringing you everything that's hot and happening from the Asaka Sounds in Kumasi if you're there on 98.5. And if you're in Cape Coast or the General Central Regional area, it's Nanama Ijirba, of course, your host on Asaase Cafe. But before then, we'll be bringing you a news update. Well, it's been fun and there's been a lot of conversation, but I'm just looking forward to the Vroom 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 coming up on Monday with Shecanic. Whatever you get up to this weekend, have a fantastic one. Stay sweet and stay tuned to your Asaase programs. Bye now.